Okay, so this is everybody. All right. So first, I want to thank you all for being here and for helping me out with this. Um, John Calvin once said, "Nearly all the knowledge we possess consists in two things: the knowledge of God and the knowledge of ourselves." Why is this important? Well, today I wanted to introduce myself and to explain what I think is most important to understanding who I am. So there are several things that people use to try to understand who they are or to define themselves. One popular one is our experiences. I remember when I was a kid, I swung out of my tree on a rope swing and right into a brick wall. And so I had a horrible concussion, and essentially I felt like the world was melting around me. Pretty traumatic experience. Um, Other experiences, and I don't mean to be too negative, but my family was pretty broken. So a lot of my formative experiences were pretty negative. My family had problems with drugs and behavioral issues, and it just was not good. That being said, there's also our positive experiences. So I remember going camping a lot and experiencing the rainstorms in the mountains, the smell of the pine and the freshly fallen rain, and the beauty of nature. So, our experiences are very important to forming who we are. So, another very important aspect is our dreams. So, I have a dream of being a father. My wife and I have been trying for children for the last couple of years, so prayers are appreciated. Another dream I have is to be a pastor. So I'm going to complete this associate degree and then a bachelor's. I've already worked partly on my bachelor's, and then I'm going to go for my MDiv. And then very far off dream, at least based on the economy currently, is I'd like to build my own house. I'm a carpenter by trade, and so I'd like to put some of that knowledge to use, but it's not very promising currently. Anyway, uh, lastly, we tend to define ourselves by our achievements, right? Some achievements in my life have been my sobriety. So, for a very long time, I was addicted to alcohol and other various substances, and I have been clean from everything for over 5, almost 6 years now.
Well done.
Um, Another achievement just recently is I've become a journeyman carpenter. For the last 4 years, I was in a carpentry apprenticeship, and I finally journeyed out just this last year. Um, but I think, oh, thank you. I think the most important achievement in my life so far, though, has been my marriage to my wonderful wife, Sheena. It's really stretched me and helped me to grow in ways that I could have never foreseen. It was beautiful. Now, all of that being said, as important as those things are to understanding who I am, if we were to forge a key, right, those things would be the teeth on the key. Okay, thank you. Um, so, what would be the bow and the blade of the key? It would be, or, well, if God exists and has created us for a specific purpose, then understanding that purpose for which He created us is the single most important thing to understanding any of our lives. The Westminster Short Catechism asks the question, what is the chief end of man? And its response is, man's chief end is to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. Now, if our purpose in life is to glorify and enjoy God forever, then everything that I already spoke about, our experiences, our dreams, our achievements, all of those are seen through the light of that. So, for instance, our experiences, all of our bad and traumatic experiences, to paraphrase Samwise Gamgee, are all going to come untrue. God will wipe away every tear and comfort us in all of our trials and tribulations. For all of the good and beautiful experiences that we've had, we will continue those things on into eternity forever. Um, for our dreams, sometimes our earthly dreams won't actually come true. There are disappointments in this life. But in 2 Corinthians 4:17, the Apostle Paul tells us that God is preparing for us a weight of glory beyond all comparison. And so even if our earthly dreams never are achieved, God will fulfill us beyond our wildest dreams. Lastly, our achievements. So our earthly achievements will bring glory to God and help others to see Him and to know Him. But the most important achievement is that at the end of our lives, we will hear Him say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." So, all of that to say, today I wanted to introduce myself and explain what was most important to understanding who I am, namely, who I am to God. So, uh, we have seen that experience, dreams, and achievements are all very important to understanding who we are, but on the key to understanding, they are but the teeth. The real blade and bow of the key are God's purpose for our lives. And so, who am I? I'm a man with a complex past. I'm a man who has a dream of being a father and a pastor. I'm a recovered addict, a carpenter, and a husband to a lovely and wonderful wife. But most importantly, I am a man who has been created to love, or to enjoy and glorify God forever. I'm Jacob Brown. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah.